All right, it's that time again. The ball has fallen. Times Square. Anything else I don't know about? The ball has fallen, and it is time for the flood of the 2024 Best of Cigar lists out there. And of course, I am thirsty. I have to have your views, so of course I'm going to do one. All right. Nah, kind of. No. Well, maybe. I'm lonely. Anyway, let me make it easy for you. If you don't want to listen to me talk, I ain't hating you. You can go to the last 2 minutes of this video and I'll recap everything. Smoking an unbanded cigar. If you think that, oh, well, I know what cigar is number one because he's smoking his number one. He just took the band off. Nope. Anyway, I just told you, go to the last 2 minutes. You want to find out, right? This is a cigar that's not on the list, a good cigar, but I didn't put the band on. I took the band off because it felt kind of funky, right? Oh, you're smoking my cigar, but it wasn't good enough to be on the list? Nah, it's kind of jank. But it's still a good cigar. So, let's get cranking on this thing. I hope you had an awesome year. Hope you had a phenomenal New Year's. Hope you had a phenomenal year, right? I hope it's been the best year ever until this year. And this year, 2025, it's going to be the best year for you. And this thing is bothering me, so away it goes. There we go. Now we can get back to it. There we go. All right, so I got my glasses over here if I can't see because it's dim in here and I'm old. What? How you want to do this? You want me to tell you the first five from 20 to 22 on 15 or whatever, 20 to 16, and then tell you some other stuff? I got other stuff to tell you. Or do you want to do that part first and get it out of the way? Uh-huh. What about you? About you? All right, so let's do the first five. Let's knock these out. This does not need to be this long, drawn-out thing, and I'm going to end up talking about some of these cigars because I had some upsetters, not Foundations upsetters. I had some upsetters that, scrolling through, looking at all today, looking at all the cigars that I smoked. I already wrote down a list of the ones I remembered, but I looked back at all my reviews. I'm like, oh, wait. That thing's banging. And then yesterday, because I don't like doing this and taking a long time. Yesterday, I smoked a bunch of cigars that were new to me because I wanted to see if they'd make the list, and a couple of them did, and a couple of them shifted up things. And I did things a little differently this year. This year, I'm a lot more technical on my list. I've never taken the list 100% seriously. I mean, I'm serious about what I do. That I love the cigar that I'm telling you is my number one cigar, but I really didn't have a metric. And so I came up with a little metric, and now I'm not gonna give a points number system to it, but I'll let you know on my notes, and I've got a plethora of them on my desk. The notes that kind of how I measure this out, because some are going to be kind of interesting how they lay it in there. So we're gonna the criteria, the major part of the criteria, the major part of the criteria is the quad, smoke, draw, burn, and flavor. Even though I don't say it every video anymore. I still utilize that when I'm talking about cigars, when I'm thinking about cigars. So, smoke gets 21 points. How does a cigar smoke? Has it got a good volume of smoke? Is it wispy? You know, is it... Bam. Okay? Thank you very much for being a good smoke machine. So, 21 possible points for smoke. 21 possible points for draw. Is it a little snug draw? Is it a loose draw? Is it a tight draw? Is it an impossible draw? Is it like sucking a milkshake in the middle of summer from McDonald's on them straws that collapse, right? That's no good. So the draw is going to be a big point on that, 21 points. 21 points on burn. Is it gonna? I'm not looking for laser. I mean, 21 points would be laser, but I am looking for something that's not gonna tunnel, that's not gonna chase, that's not gonna canoe. I'm gonna look at the mascara line and see how that is, which kind of let me see if the tobacco was rested long enough before it went out to the cellophane, so you can get a hold to it. Flavor. Now that's the one thing that I can't quantify because it's my palate. It's what I like. It's what I've been exposed to because this list, let's get serious. I've smoked thousands of cigars this year, but I haven't smoked every cigar and I haven't smoked every blend. I haven't gotten stuff and I haven't bought stuff from some manufacturers. So your list is going to be different than mine. I guarantee you that there are going to be some manufacturers that are going to be on some lists that won't be on my list because I haven't smoked their cigars. Now, if you are watching this as a manufacturer and you want the possibility of being on my list and you don't send me cigars, maybe you ought to reach out to me so that we can talk. All right, so that's 84 points. Now, it's a 100-point scale. So 5 points goes into, this is new, packaging and presentation. Because the first bite you take with your eyes, right? And this thing is smoking me out. And if you got your quads right, smoke, draw, burn, and flavor right. God, I love Diet Pepsi. Love you too. If you got smoke, draw, burn, and flavor right, and then you spent more time into packaging and making sure the banding looks good and everything else, that's going to give you points. But then you'll be like, well, what about the bundle brands? What about the some of the cigars that are limited runs and they don't do the big packaging? Well, the packaging tells a story. It makes sense. It doesn't have to be gilded and golded and all this and other stuff. It just has to make sense, and it has to fit. And how well they did with the fit, in my opinion, because it's my opinion. By the way, the only list that's worth really having is your list, because your list is right every time. Because it's all about you when you smoke cigars. It's not about me or anybody else. Don't let them tell you anything different. So, price point, 4 points. And yeah, if it's a $40 cigar, it better be perfect. If it's a budget-friendly cigar, you know what? It fits in its lane, right? All right, availability, 4 points for that. The availability. Is it limited release? Is it hard to get? Can you not get a hold of it? That could ding a cigar, which it did. And nobody can get it, or it was a very limited release and you can't get a hold to it. But it was worth being on the list. And so, you throw it out there and it gets on the list. One of the hard parts about that is the first year a cigar comes out, everybody falls in love with it and everybody wants it. And the manufacturers haven't ramped up their production enough to get it out, because it takes a while to make a cigar. And they don't want to make a ton of cigars nobody wants, so they kind of test the water sometimes. And it takes years to get that whole thing out and running. So that could be a detractor as well. And then the last 3 points, which I didn't deal with these points very much on the 3 points, is about the story. Is there a great story? Is there something that really grabs me about the cigar in the story? Now, those last 4 things, really low on points, because it really doesn't matter if the smoke, draw, burn, and flavor. I mean, you could have banging points on everything from story to banding to price point to availability, and if it ain't no good, it ain't no good. Those smoke, draw, burn, and flavor are the ones that I draw off of. So let's get to those first 5. Let's not just hang out. We're already 8 minutes in here, Bob. My God, these people have stuff to do. All right, so number 20. Oh, by the way, sorry, what a tease. We had 13 companies represented in the list this year. Never had a list this diverse. I've never gotten over 10 companies, I don't believe. And this year I was surprised. I got over 13 companies. Now, we went to PCA this year. Got lots and lots of samples. Got to try lots and lots of things. Some people actually sent me some in the mail. Some actual consumers said, I want you to try the cigar, and sent me some in the mail. And so I got to try it that way. And this was a year where we just got a lot of different cigars. And I really got to jump into it. And 13 different companies are represented. So the first company, number 20, is the Arcana Thunder Smoke by CAO. I was impressed. It was nice. I would smoke it on a semi-regular. 19. This one really knocked me out of the park. I did not expect it. I just got it. I just tried it, and it has a great story, but the story is not the thing that drives it. It's the flavor. I just want to smoke another one right behind it, and another one right behind it. The reason I think I kept it down to number 19, to be honest, is I'd only smoked one, so I may get the one superstar, and the other ones may not be good, but it was good enough. Brand new company since COVID, to be on the list, which is the Frisian by Natura, Natura. Pay attention to that name, because there's going to be some stuff coming down the pipe, I think, this year showing up at PCA. And it was a good price point, too. So, 18 from CAO, again. The Fasa Sol. The Noche, not so much, but the Sol, I loved it. I love the packaging. I love the story. They put a lot of time in their packaging and design, but they put their time in that after they put their time in a good blend and a good construction. Great cigar, shorter cigar, great hanging around the house, working around this and that and the other thing. Good price point too. Let's see, 17. One I just smoked, hadn't had it before. It is a Brazilian puro, which surprised me. I didn't think a puro would be on the list because usually a puro is one note, two note. This thing had enough notes to be an orchestra. Well, that's a little exaggeration, but you do a little jazz trio. The Do Brazil. If you don't know Villiger, you ought to get No Villiger. Their construction is on point. Their flavor profiles are all over the place, so you can find something that you like. It's harder to get. They're where you can get it is not as plentiful as other companies. So you got to kind of hunt just a little bit or go online and do the online thing. Let's see, 16. All right, so this will be the last one before I start doing some more talking. It is the Zeno Nicaragua Yellow Band by Zeno. They revamped the brand. They revamped the branding. If ever there was a rep named Cigar Cupcake, it would be a Zeno branded fella. But it's not just because of the feller and this and that. It's a solid cigar. I had a box of them. I've got a couple left, and so that's evidence to me that that's something I grab for. I put it in my little humidor next to my desk, and I'll snatch it out and get it. I got lots of stuff to grab from, and that's the one I grabbed. So let me get off of that real quick. Get in my little sheet of notes. We're going to knock this out, hopefully. So some of the notable things for this year, while I got you here, we got to go to PCA. We did PCA After Dark for the first time, which was a live, which was very, very well viewed, well visited. A lot of the media people actually reached out to me and said, hey, man, this thing's banging. I really love what you did. You need to keep it up. PCA is for shops and manufacturers. It's not for consumers, the convention, but that's where a lot of things happen. And so I kind of took the idea of doing a live every night, which we'll do this year as well, because we're going to PCA in Vegas or in New Orleans in April. This will be, it's a way where you can kind of see what's going on and you get to know what's coming down the pipe, and it's going to be just a regular old Joe Schmuckatelli kind of thing. We're just going to sit and chat a little bit and have a good time. And maybe we'll do giveaways if I got stuff to give away. Who knows? Maybe I can steal stuff from some of the booths. Who knows? So, dang it, I talk too much. Maybe. You're back. Good job. Good job, Bob. So we also did 3 barn smokers. Connecticut, Kentucky, and Florida. No. Yes, Connecticut, Kentucky, and Florida. Great time. Got to meet a lot of people, shake hands, give hugs, smoke lots of cigars. Had some libations. The food was great. The barn smokers are getting better and better every year. As far as other channel stuff, Chief's best season of Chief Talk yet. He had people there all the time. Next year is going to be a reset. There's going to be some amazing things coming on Chief Talk this year. You're not going to want to miss it. It's every Thursday at 8:30. You're going to want to be there. I'm not going to be there near as much. I'm going to back out of this and let Chief do Chief. And he's going to have guests. And I'm not going to talk about any more about it. I bet he'll talk about it in his list for this year. So check out his list. Check it out. It's going to be a good list. His list will not be mine because we have different palates. This year I started a podcast. It's going to be 1 hour on Friday. We're going to do it again this year. So it's going to be as you drive home. I got the smokes. Let's ride, I think is what we're going to call it. Podcast experience with Bob the Cigar Guy. That's me. BTCG. Let's get out of that. Let's get into some more numbers. That's what we're here for, right? That's what we're here for. Come on! Dang it. That one's out. Hang on. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But while we wait, I'd like to take my time a lot. And when I want to do it right, I like to take my time to do it right. I bet 50 people just clicked off right there. I don't blame you. All right. We stopped at 16. Let's go to 15. 15. Good stick. I've smoked it a lot. It's got a real European flavor to it. I really, really like it. And that's the Miami by Villiger. The Lancero is banging, actually. It's a really flavorful, just in your face. No real nasty in the finish either. It's full on in the smoke, but it settles down when you're done blowing it out. 14. This one was just recently sent to me by a friend, Mikey Z. And he sent it to me, and it blew my mind. The Yasuke by Cigar Dojo and Black Star Line. Never had a Black Star Line cigar before, and I think it was blended by Aganorsa. I think it was rolled at Aganorsa. So fantastic cigar. It probably wouldn't went up on the numbers. This is one of the ones that took a beating because all the dojo things released so fast. I think Eric told me that it was done in 12 hours, and it's a one and done kind of thing. So if you didn't get one, you don't get one. But it was good. You know, I'm not gonna knock it because it's that limited. I don't think that's fair. 13, the price point, branding, boxing, design, the band, the Angel Cuesta by J.C. Newman. Fantastic cigar. It's got a perfecto tip, which frustrates me a little bit, so I just cut the tip off. I don't know if it's a Solomon or not, but it is a funky Solomon kind of shape. But delicious cigar, delicious, amazing cigar. 12, Hoyas Cinco de Caras. I love the story about that. I love the cigar, but I love the story about that because they took all the blends of everybody's. When you go to Safari, you can do a blending session. They just kind of took all the blends together and they figured out what the most binder, what the most filler, and what the most wrapper combinations were, and they made the combination of that, and it came out to be a banging cigar. That's the Cinco de Caras. Number 11, and then we'll talk a little bit. This is a great cigar. I like this cigar. I enjoy the ting in it. It's a really, really good cigar. I love the story. The story is amazing. I wish I could have given more points just for story. And that's the American by J.C. Newman. A cigar that's made every last little bit of it, including the glue and the rollers, the cellophane, the cedar wood to make the boxes, everything. The bands, everything comes from America. And I love that. It's got some of that FSG tobacco from Jeff Orschwitz's farm. And I really, really enjoy that cigar. So we are halfway did. Let's do some more chitting and chatting, shall we? This year, first time we ever had branded gear. We took a long time to come out with cutters and lighters and Travadors and stuff like that. Because we wanted to make sure we had great stuff. And quality importers came alongside. And we've got branded gear this year. If you need branded gear, go to ChevetteReport.com and hit the merch link, and you can get your gear. That's right. You can get cutter, you can get lighter, you can get Travador, you can get a kit. And in the kit, you actually get a branded Bob the Cigar Guy Chief cigar rest. There's my commercial. Shameless plug. With Quality Importers being one of our sponsors, I was the first one ever to review their wine, La Pistolina. I learned, because that's my first ever wine review, you should not drink the whole bottle of wine for the review. If you haven't watched it, it gets funnier as it goes back, or more embarrassing, depending on who you are. We also were the first one to review, nationally, their Conspiracy Cigar System. Good cigar. Very low price point. If you buy so many, you get a cutter. If you buy more, you get a lighter. If you buy more, you get a Better Cutter, you get a Travador, you get all these other things, and they're all branded, and the branding is cool. That's the Conspiracy cigar system from Quality Importers. Man, I'm almost done with all this stuff. Let's get this last one done before I go to the rest. We'll knock the list out. We have announced that second Saturdays with the First Lady Live. It's going to be happening. First Lady is committed to everybody, Sammy Flo and Jay Bates. Everybody has said, First Lady, we want more First Lady, and when we have more First Lady, we want First Lady to give stuff away. If you know anything about Chief Talk, you know that the First Lady will sneak in and give stuff away. So we are going to be doing a live show, and there will be giveaways, and we are going to do banging giveaways. These are not $50 giveaways. These are not $100 giveaways. You're going to get a bunch of stuff. But here's the click. You got to be watching to win. You got to be present to win. And the First Lady is going to basically do whatever she wants to do. I still keep my thumb on the scale just a little bit. No, I ain't letting everything go. But it should be a hoot once a month. Get a chance to win amazing stuff. And I've got amazing stuff to give away. Let's get into 10. This is another cigar that was given to me by a friend. And it knocked out, it messed up my list. I actually texted him. I said, dude, you screwed up my list. Because I had a cigar that I was going to put in this list and I had to take it out. The cigar that I was going to put in this list was the Leather Rose because I love the Leather Rose. It's my favorite Deadwood cigar from Drew Estate. But the Dia de los Muertos Sweet Jane, the Halloween-themed looking cigar, the orange band, that thing was amazing. The sweetness, the blended, the subtleties were just on point. On point. That's number 10. Number 9. This one could have went higher, but it didn't. Basically, because on it's price point. Number 1, number 2, availability, and that is the Senator by Foundation. Love that cigar. Fantastic cigar. The boxing and the banding, the story, everything, the flavors. The Vitola is just an amazing cigar. That cigar is just top notch. And so that made the list again this year. Number 8, new one to the list, new one to the industry, got it at PCA, and that's Adventura's Blue-Eyed Jack's Revenge. I didn't even take into account till after I was over. I already done my list. I said, oh, I forgot that the Barbaroja's Revenge, or the Barbaroja's Invasion, the box was red and it would talk. You push a button and it talked. It told story. Well, the Blue-Eyed Jack, which is a blue box, would talk to the old box. And so it was a battle between the two of them. And it was amazing. It was fun as all get out. I forgot all about that. So it might even went up even higher. But it's only a couple points. So number 7. Had to dance around this one. I didn't know if I was going to go with this one or another one because I love both of them. But it was the Wagashi by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Love that cigar. It was number 1 for last year. Fantastic, phenomenal cigar. It was between that and the Brulee Blue. I really, really love that cigar, but the Wagashi edged out just a hair. Number 6, an old favorite of mine. One of the ones that I really, really, really enjoy, that I will grab and smoke when I want to pay attention to the cigar. And I'm not wanting to do something else. I'm wanting to smoke a cigar and just enjoy the cigar, me and the cigar and the smoke in the room, or outside, or wherever. And that is the Drew Estate H99. That cigar is amazing. Fantastic cigar. Fantastic, phenomenal cigar. It is. All right. God, we're taking forever. Bob, will you shut up? So, a couple of the updates about the channel and the growth of the channel, thanks to you. One video has now broke the 250,000 view mark. That video has been watched over 250,000 times. That's not big if you're a Kardashian. It's not a drop in a bucket. But if you're Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief sitting in the shed in Travelers Rest, South Carolina, talking to their phone, that's pretty nice. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that. We broke $250,000, 250,000 mark, which we're still being monetized. This year, up till last month, we had 115,000 plus views this year. I extrapolate the minutes watched every year just for fun, and we've been around 9 years, I guess now 8-9 years, and if you take every minute of 8-9 years, whatever it was, I know what it is when I do it, and it gives you a number of oogaddles of minutes, and then I look at how many minutes we've had viewed. We actually have 1.5 times the amount of minutes as there is in the amount of time that we've been on a YouTube channel, which is kind of cool to me. It's kind of neat. It means nothing to you, and it shouldn't, but it does to me, and I thought I would just tell you. So, no. So, we had over 1,200 new subs this year. Thanks to you, the family's grown by 1,200 plus. So that's over 100 a month. Great for us. We are on track to blast through the 10,000 subscriber mark next year. By the end of next year, if everything tracks the way it's tracking, that will be great, and we will do a giveaway. If we hit the 10K, we will do a giveaway. We were on track to hit 10K a couple years ago, but then YouTube did the YouTubey thing, and we got shadow banned and demonetized and smacked a couple times, and so, but we are on our way up, moving on up to the high side. All right, so let's get these last 5 done, and you, kind person, patient person, can go do something else. Of course, you could now if you wanted to. Number 5, great stick. Went into a lounge just recently, saw one there, and it was the first thing I grabbed. I said, ooh, I got to get that because I don't get them often. And that is the Knuckle Sandwich Habano by Espinosa. Love that cigar. Like the Guy Fieri put his hand in the pudding. He did the partial of the blending, but that cigar is just amazing. In so many levels. I really, really enjoy the Habano more than any of the other blends they have. Number 4, another one that that is, if I want to smoke a cigar and I want to smoke a good cigar and I want to make sure that cigar is going to have good construction, it's going to have good flavors, it's going to make me feel like I smoked a cigar, and it's going to make my life better for that moment. Whether I'm celebrating or going through some struggles or I'm having to figure things out or I just need a freaking break from the world. You ever need a freaking break from the world? I do. And that is Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Sin Compromiso. Love that cigar. I also love the Elegante and Cedro, but the Wagashi is a Silver Mesa as well. So, number 3, this one, I bet it's not going to be on anybody's list this year. But the cigar has got legs. The cigar is a great cigar. And that's the El Pulpo by Artesano del Tobacco. Amazing cigar. Amazing cigar. If I had them here regularly, it would be in my rotation. That's the truth. Whether I'm hanging out working, whether I'm talking with somebody, or whether I'm by myself, if it checks off all the boxes. It really does. Let's get down to the last two. One that, this one was kind of neat. I had knocked some reviews out. I was smoking through the Barn Smoker bag that I got, I guess, from Connecticut. And I just pulled one out to do a review because I had to do a review on Tuesday on Drew's. By the way, every Tuesday we drop a Drew Estate review. And I just happened to grab the cigar, and I wasn't thinking much of it. I hadn't had it forever, and I in my mind, I'm like, it's a good cigar, but it's not a great cigar. And it blew me away. I forgot how much I love that cigar. And so I have been smoking it every chance I get. I have smoked through all the ones we have in the shop, I think. And that is the Drew Estate UF13. Fantastic cigar. So good. Now, the last cigar almost got prejudiced. Yeah. Because I don't mind my list not being like anybody else's list. Actually, I kind of like it. I kind of like saying, hey, I'm a little different than everybody else. And it kind of showcases that, everybody's list can be different. And this one, I think, is going to be on everybody's number one. I think it is. I really do. I really do. Everything is, the forecast is leaning in that direction. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be that guy that has the one that everybody else has. Right? I mean, last year, I put out the Wagashi. And I was the only one to put out the Wagashi, and I got fussed at by Steve Saka because I messed up his metrics. I love Steve Saka. Give him a number one, and he gets mad at you. He wasn't mad, but it was funny. We actually talked about it before the July. So, anyway. It's Cigar. I wasn't going to do it, but then I'm like, you know what? Facts is facts, truth is truth. Let it sit where it sits. The reason everybody loves it is because everybody loves it because it's a great cigar. Price point's solid. Construction's fantastic. It's not the prettiest cigar. The the packaging is not that great. The band is pretty cool, but it's pretty simple. But it just delivers. It just gives you everything you want, at least me and a lot of other people. And that is Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust's Bronzeback. And that's it. So that's the whole list. Now, I told the people that 20 minutes, I would go through the list real quick so that they could not have to listen to me. Don't blame them. But then why are they here? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because I'd love to hit that 10K giveaway. I really, really would. Please check out Chief Talk. Please, please, please. If you like winning stuff, second Saturdays with the First Lady live, that's going to be amazing and awesome. Driving home on Fridays at 5 o'clock, you got a podcast. It's not amazing, but it'll actually stop you from falling asleep. Maybe. And it's going to be interesting. I've 52 podcasts in a year, an hour long. It's going to be interesting. So I'm going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. But then again, I can run my gator. All right, so 20 is the Arcana Thunder Smoke by CAO. 19 is the Frisian Natura. 18 is Fossa Soul by CAO. 17 is Do, D-O, Brazil by Villiger. 16 is Zeno Nicaragua by Zeno. 15 is the Miami by Villiger. 14 is the Yasuke by Cigar Dojo and Black Star Line Cigars. 13 is Angel Cuesta by J.C. Newman. 12 is Cinco de Cadas by Hoya. 11 is The American by J.C. Newman. 10 is the Día de los Muertos Sweet Jane by Drew Estate. Number 9 is The Senator by Foundation. The 8 is the Blue Eyed Jack's Revenge by Adventura. 7 is the Wagashi by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and Cigar Dojo. 6 is the H99 by Drew Estate. 5 is Knuckle Sandwich Habano by Espinoza. 4 is the Sin Compromiso by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. 5 is the El Pulpo Artesano del Tabaco. That's 3. 2 is the UF13 by Drew Estate. And coming in number 1 this year is the Bronzeback by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. If you've watched any of our videos this year, thank you. If you took a breath last year, thank you, because you're valuable. The world's better because you're here, and I do mean that. If you spend time with us, we are humbled and we are blessed and we are thankful that you spend time with us. We hope that we give you a moment of peace. If these lists are overwhelming and they're not on your list, if nothing I had was on your list, then your list is right and my list is wrong for you. It's all about you when you smoke a cigar. It's not selfish. It's self-care. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs to take a moment. Take a pause, because if you don't take your break, somebody will take them from you. And that's the facts. Know this. 2025 is going to be your year. I believe that. I have faith in that. I know you're going to do great and awesome things. And great and awesome things are going to come your way. And whatever travails and hardships come through, you're going to be able to handle them. I have faith in that. All right? So I'll see you later. I love you. It's Bob Cigar Guy saying smoke easy and Semper Fi 2025. Let's go! Later, Tater.